Hi guys, and welcome back to this week's episode of the In the Hub podcast, brought to you by Playbox Technology UK. Today I'm speaking to Rafid Nadaf, Broadcast and IT Sales Manager at AGT. Raf knows the ins and outs of technology in the broadcasting industry, having worked his way up from engineering support to international marketing and sales manager positions across the globe. Hope you enjoy. So welcome to the In the Hub podcast today, Rafid. How are you doing today? How are you feeling?
Very good, thanks. Very good. Nice and sunny. Another sunny day in Dubai.
Yes, I've got to say I've never been more jealous of a podcast guest before. it's Raf's over in Dubai and we're in the UK, and the weather's just fluctuating like crazy at the moment. I think winter really is on the horizon, essentially. So yeah, Raf, again, thanks so much for joining us today and taking some time out of your busy schedule.
Very welcome.
Just before we do get started and talking about AGT and a bit more about your career, how did you actually kind of get started in the broadcasting industry? Where did that all begin for you?
Well, it was just a matter of luck, actually. I mean, I graduated from Swansea University, and it was the first job I was looking for, and it turned out to be with a company called Abacus Video Systems in Reading.
Yes. Yeah.
And they were looking for a service engineer, and it was something I was interested in doing, meeting up with customers and walk around and, so it was part of, at the time, it was electronics and analog video and digital video just coming on the horizon. So it was something for me to start with. So it was just a matter of luck, and I've never looked back since then, and it was being broadcast all the way.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was interesting there. Obviously, you joined when there was quite a big technology change on the horizon, like you were talking about. And I'm just curious that those kind of initial positions that you held, things like service engineer and broadcast technical support, how did they kind of prepare you for your career in broadcasting?
Oh, it is massive. Really has, because a lot of sales nowadays, it requires some technical background, and you need to understand not just your products, but you need to understand how the other products works, and especially the competition side. So you have your, you understand your weak points, customers, the competition weak points, and and obviously you push your strength when you sit in front of the customers, and a lot of the customers, they do require to understand the technical side of your products. How does it work? How does How does it differ from the other products? So it was a lot of help.
Yeah, because in this industry in particular, it seems as though there's so much value placed on knowing that these kind of technical things from the ground up, and being in the position where you're helping customers with technical issues, sorting out systems and systems architecture and things like that. And that really can help you, can't it, when you go further into the industry and you elevate in positions and career and things like that. And I think that's obviously really paid off for you, Raf. So for anyone who doesn't know, obviously you're with AGT now. What services do you guys provide? What kind of things do you get up to on a day-to-day basis at AGT?
Well, we are mainly an IT distributor and reseller for IT equipment. So like anything from the basic computer to all the way to the top to the mega servers and IT equipment. So we added what we call the broadcast section to it, which is trying to deal with the broadcast industry and their requirements for IT infrastructure. Especially with now everybody looking for offline and online, so off-the-shelf storage rather than dedicated storage. That's one thing, and the requirement for a powerful service or specified service to do the software which has been added to it on top or provided by another company or manufacturer. So that is where we come in, and we try to fit in customized IT infrastructure based on the customer's requirement.
Yeah, it's such a massive thing nowadays, isn't it? Obviously, like you were saying, for AGT, serving those customers who it could just be a bespoke PC workstation setup, all the way up to broadcasters and mission critical things where they need these massive servers and server racks and things like that.
Yes.
Something that's absolutely fantastic. What kind of service area do you guys provide? What kind of locations do you provide your services to?
Well, we support everywhere in Middle East. To be honest with you, we are based in Dubai, but we are accessible to all the countries within the Middle East region. So we've done works with, obviously within the UAE, Qatar, Iraq, and Egypt, North Africa. So we have been successful with that. So yeah, so we provide the Middle East, mainly Middle East.
Yeah, oh, perfect. That's a really good coverage there. So, Raf, a bit more about you now. I just was curious, how have you kind of witnessed broadcast technology change in the kind of 20 years that you've been in our industry? So what are some of those kind of main changes that have happened in the technology side of our industry?
Absolutely massive, massive. I mean, if I put it very, very short, where it used to be very expensive, dedicated hardware, now moved to very much a software-based equipment based on PCs. So massive changes within the last 20 years. And where before it cost you millions to build a TV stations, now really you can put a TV stream from your bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is. You only have to buy a camera and you stream it up, and you've got a TV station.
Essentially, yeah. It's anyone can pretty much be a broadcaster nowadays, can't they? Which is such a stark change from how it used to be.
Absolutely, and now especially with video streaming and the not a requirement for a satellite uplinks and stuff like that. It's make it even easier for the broadcasters. You know what I'm saying, and much cheaper.
Yeah, and if I could kind of pry into you guys and the kind of projects that you guys are getting up to, are you finding that it's more companies who are sticking to streaming only and IP only, or are there still a lot of broadcasters coming out needing this kind of more traditional way of doing things like SDI and for satellite and things like that?
It really is moving into has moved into streaming now. I mean, we can see a lot of those big companies now like Netflix and stuff like that, moving into streaming video, and now even the box at home now, you do not need to have a satellite link or it's based. You have a broadband and you get all your TV channels on it. So yeah, more and more definitely moving into the streaming and for video over IP, etc.
Yeah, no, that's echoed throughout the industry, like you were saying, isn't it? That there's this kind of big move over to IP, and that kind of links into the next question, Raf, which is, do you think there's still a strong case for this kind of server-based broadcasting model and on-premises hardware in comparison to obviously hosting a channel up in the cloud and doing things that way?
Yeah, definitely. There is definitely more than one reason to it. As I said, one of it is security. A lot of people, they look to have their video secure in their own premises. They cannot afford to have it in the cloud for security reasons, or they don't believe in that security for one reason or another. The other thing is the cost for the some infrastructure here. I'm talking about the Middle East here. The IP infrastructure could be costly for them to have it on the cloud. And some countries, they still do not have the infrastructure fast enough to store it on the cloud and use the cloud. But everybody is moving that way. So I'll say in a few years' time, I think the cloud is going to win.
Yeah, 100%. I think in this kind of marathon of broadcasting technology, I think it will, eventually be cloud that kind of crosses the line there. It's just interesting. Yeah, I wanted to ask your perspective on it because oftentimes you see these reports coming out of the US and places like the UK and Europe that are very much obviously painting this picture of everyone's moving to cloud. You know, very little people are actually still got these servers chugging away on their premises that house things like play out and the actual broadcast workflow. But it's, you know, when you drill down to countries that maybe don't have the infrastructure there, like you were saying, and they need things like security, that it's interesting you see just how many people are still valuing that kind of on-premises, you know, kind of lifestyle essentially.
Absolutely. And as I said, the content, it depends what type of content as well they have. You know, some contents they cannot afford to have it on the cloud. Some contents, yes, they can do it.
Of course, yeah.
So it really depends.
Yeah, because there's something people often forget about as well. It's the storage costs, isn't it? And the kind of ingest costs of having all of that up in the cloud, which I think is really interesting. So yeah, that was a brilliant answer, Raf. And then, Raf, this is quite a hard question. We usually save it to the end of the podcast. And it's just, if you could sum it up in one word and one word only, what do you envision for the future of the broadcasting industry?
Just exactly what we just talked about. It's going to be IT cloud. I think there's a big case for it now. And I think that's where the technology is moving. And I think a lot of the end users, they start to appreciate now where the technology is taking them to. And they have to use that technology. There's no escape from it.
100%. Yeah, I think especially during COVID as well, we saw obviously teams valuing this kind of remote workflow and obviously having their teams be able to be not all in the master control room, but be able to obviously plug away in the software wherever they may be. Especially during lockdowns and things like that, where it was impossible to have everyone in the same room working together.
Yeah, absolutely. And the word probably I would like to use in this case, it gives a lot more flexibility.
Yes, I really like that,
for the end users.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic word. And probably the first time we've had flexibility actually as the word. A lot of people do obviously say the cloud and streaming and things like that. So it will be interesting to go back through these podcasts and listen to obviously what the general consensus is from people in the broadcasting industry. So, you know, thanks for obviously adding to that. And then Raf, obviously, thank you so much for joining me today and talking us through some of those questions. Are there any exciting projects coming up for AGT that you can talk to us about today, or is it all under wraps?
Unfortunately, everything it's the industry is like very, very, very competitive, and its competition is strong, so everything is under wraps. And unfortunately,
I don't know why I asked that question anymore, Raf. To be honest, it's in this industry, it's almost a pointless question. But you know, sometimes we do get some word on projects, but it's, you know, good to hear that you guys are obviously got some projects lined up, some big projects. That's really good to hear.
Absolutely.
And then, Raf, how can people get in touch with AGT and you personally if they want to inquire about anything that you've spoken about today?
Well, I mean, we have a website which is agt.me. They can get in touch with us through there, or they can get in touch with me directly. I'm the sort of like managing the broadcast side of the business. So yeah, by all means, I can give you my telephone number, my email, and we are very, very happy to speak to anybody, to be honest with you. So, and any business is more than welcome.
Yes, no, that's perfect. What we'll do, Raf, we'll obviously link to the IGT website in the description, and we will put your LinkedIn profile in there as well, as long as you obviously use LinkedIn, which I think you do, Raf, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Do you find LinkedIn is obviously a beneficial platform in the broadcasting industry? Do you find that you've kind of made a lot of contacts through it and things like that?
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, it's a lot of the contacts coming through LinkedIn. I mean, and plus we keep up what's going on in the industry and what's going on with, and all the news or anything coming up. Is LinkedIn is very, very, very useful tool to do that.
I do find that actually, in this industry, usually the first thing you hear about these things is LinkedIn. So obviously with the cancellation of NAB show and things like that. Are you guys at AGT, are you going to any exhibitions this year, expos this year, or?
Not at this moment in time. It just because the way the exhibition is going and the uncertainty about what's going on and who's going to be joining, etc. So, but it's something we definitely looking for in the future to join in.
Yeah, 100%. I bet you guys are missing it quite a lot. I think that sentiment's echoed throughout the industry at the moment. There's a little bit too much uncertainty at the moment.
Absolutely.
But fingers crossed this time next year, we'll be rid of it.
We always have our fingers crossed all the time.
I mean, I said this last year and look what happened. But yeah, okay. Raf, again, thanks so much, mate. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, speak to you soon.
You're very welcome. And it's been a very pleasure talking to you, Neil.
Thank you, Raf.
Cheers, bye.